Another AFC East team is trading for a big-name wide receiver. Jets got Davante Adams. The Buffalo Bills have acquired Amari Cooper from the in turn are sending a third-round pick to the Browns, and a day 3 pick swap is also.
It has been an absolutely wild day so far. I mean, earlier today we found out that Davante Adams was being traded to the New York Jets, and we have a separate video on that made already. We'll leave it in the end screen for you guys to also check out. And then a few hours later, we found out another Blockbuster trade was going down, which is fantastic because now I have another excuse not to make a video on the Dallas Cowboys blowout to the Detroit Lions. So before we get to the content, make sure you drop, like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help us get to 1 million subscribers and to support us through this double upload day. Now that we get all that out of the way, break. We made $500 on prize picks this past Sunday, and fortunately, a lot of you guys tailed my picks on Instagram and Snapchat, and you guys let me know in my DMs. One of you even made $1,000 from my picks. Fortunately, we've been on a crazy streak, and if you haven't played prize picks, download the app or click in the link in the description down below and use my promo code Mikerophone to get $100 when you make an entry of $5 or more. Then follow me on Instagram at @TheFlightMike or on Snapchat to get my picks for free. And thank you, prize picks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? The Buffalo Bills made a blockbuster trade during the offseason in a move that no one really saw coming, trading Stefon Diggs to the Houston Texans for a 2025 second round pick, a 2024 sixth round pick, and a 2025 fifth round pick. You see, the Buffalo Bills had to cut costs as much as possible, primarily due to Josh Allen's cap hit, the poor investment in Von Miller, and as a result, the Buffalo Bills said goodbye to more than just Stefon Diggs. Jordan Poyer, Tre'Davious White, Gabe Davis all found new homes over the offseason. But the Stefon Diggs trade wasn't seen as something that was too significant, primarily because Stefon Diggs' usage went down significantly once the Buffalo Bills moved on from offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey in favor of Joe Brady, who opted to utilize a more balanced offensive attack, primarily depending on James Cook a little bit more, and it paid off. Currently, the Buffalo Bills have a top 10 defense, primarily leaning on Taron Johnson and Taylor Rapp. You supplement this with a rushing attack that the Buffalo Bills have, and as a result, the Buffalo Bills are leading their division, even defeating their division rival New York Jets on Monday Night Football yesterday. To this day, Josh Allen still hasn't thrown a single interception this year. He has 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and over 1,000 yards passing for an absurd QBR of a 79.3, and this is despite losing Stefon Diggs. But clearly, the wide receiver core for the Buffalo Bills was relatively thin. Now, if I wanted to give a full backstory in regards to the poverty of the Cleveland Browns, then this video would easily be 45 minutes long. We do have a video on Deshaun Watson that we are currently cooking up because he's been historically bad, and honestly, that would have dropped today if it wasn't for all this breaking news coming at us. But in the case of the Cleveland Browns, Amari Cooper's contract is set to expire after this year, and there's no way they could afford him, primarily because of the gigantic cap hit that Deshaun Watson has on the roster, despite being, without a doubt, the worst starting QB in the NFL. No, statistically speaking, in terms of expected points added averages, Deshaun Watson is the 4th worst quarterback in the NFL. It's absolutely hysterical. I'll throw another crazy stat at you. On top of all this, there's been an absurd 45 passes directed at Amari Cooper that have qualified as off target this season, and we haven't seen an off target rate that high for a player with 40 plus targets since at least prior to 2011. And I wanted to go out and say Amari Cooper has been incredible wherever he's been, whether it's for the Dallas Cowboys a few seasons ago or for the Cleveland Browns, where he currently holds the Cleveland Browns single game receiving record with 265 yards. He's the first ever Browns receiver to have consecutive 1,000 yard seasons, and this is despite him having no consistency at the quarterback position at all whatsoever since his time in Cleveland. I think Amari Cooper is one of the most underrated wide receivers in the NFL, but it it was clear that he isn't returning to Cleveland after this season. So the Cleveland Browns announced that they were trading him, and the team that decided to trade for him was none other than the Buffalo Bills. So according to Diana Russidi, the Cleveland Browns have traded Amari Cooper to the Buffalo Bills. The crazy part about this is the Buffalo Bills were reportedly interested in Davante Adams, but the problem is that they didn't have the flexibility to pay Davante Adams $11.6 million for the rest of 2024 like the Jets did. So now they get Amari Cooper for $806,000, which in my opinion is significantly more worth it because the Browns converted $18.79 million of Amari Cooper's $20 million salary to a signing bonus back in March, so they were anticipating trading him. And you might be wondering what the compensation is in order to make Amari Cooper a Buffalo Bill. And this part, I will admit, kind of infuriates me, particularly as a Dallas Cowboy fan. The Browns receive a 2025 third round pick and a 2026 seventh round pick. The Bills get Amari Cooper and a 2025 sixth round pick. In order to get Amari Cooper on the Cleveland Browns to begin with, the Cleveland Browns traded a fifth round pick and a sixth round pick swap for Amari Cooper. 2 years later, they traded him for a third round pick. This is an indication of how poverty the Dallas Cowboys are for letting Amari Cooper go for a fifth round pick. It's truly insane. And Amari Cooper seems ecstatic. This is what he had to say about it. Andrew Berry called me and told me what's going on. As far as playing with Josh Allen, I've always been a fan of his game. I'm sure to see it up close and personal and play alongside him, I'm sure it's going to be great. I've been in this situation before, so that helps. I'm just excited to turn a new chapter and to be able to contribute. Do you know what happened the last time Amari Cooper was traded in the middle of the season? He got traded from Oakland to the Dallas Cowboys, and then in 9 games, he had 725 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. Amari Cooper instantly becomes wide receiver 1 for Buffalo, and Buffalo saves a significant chunk of money going from Stephon Diggs to Amari Cooper. Again, only $800,000 against the cap, so Josh Allen still has a wide receiver 1 to depend on without the Bills breaking the bank on a wide receiver. It's a wide receiver that's historically been able to adjust to brand new offenses, and even better, he's not a huge diva like Stephon Diggs was. I honestly have to give props to both sides for this trade. From the Buffalo Bills, you could say that they made an upgrade to the wide receiver position from Stephon Diggs to Amari Cooper, or at the very base level, it's the same skill level. But Amari Cooper's cheap and Amari Cooper isn't as toxic, so in my opinion, it's an improvement. But from the Cleveland Browns perspective, obviously it sucks to lose your wide receiver 1 when your quarterback has been terrible to begin with. But if you just think about it, you traded for Amari Cooper and then you were able to elevate his value and get a better draft pick in return for him. In my opinion, that's always a victory. So I also give the Browns an A+. I think both sides got what they needed here, and now we turn our attention to Mike Williams and DeAndre Hopkins. Can we see the Chargers eventually make a move? Can we see the Chiefs make a move? Well, the New York Jets have already made a move. If you guys missed it, earlier today we made a video on the Las Vegas Raiders trading Davante Adams to the New York Jets. If you missed it, I'll leave it in the end screen. I'll catch you guys there. I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.